right, Aquarius. Shall we get a message from Spirit? We haven't done that in a while. So I'm using a little piece of Palo Santo here. I just find it's better than sage. I don't know why. I'm finding it a little bit better at clearing the cards. Anyway. All right, so I am going to pause the tape while I finish shuffling, and then we're going to get started. We're going to use the Rider-Waite deck and the Tarot de Marseille, the two heavy hitters of tarot. All right, one moment. Okay, here we go. So we're going to do 2 more hard and 2 soft. Spirit, what would you like Aquarius to know for my amazing fixed air signs, the star, the faithful, loyal servant of God, and the fool, who is the closest to God? One more. What would you like? What is this reading about, please, Spirit? What is this reading about? It's right here. Oh, wow. Boy, 2 major arcana. Okay. So we have the World, that is a card of all fixed signs. You, Aquarius, Taurus, Leo, and Scorpio. And we have the Chariot, which is a major arcana card of Cancer. I'm going to ask for 2 more. Clarify the World and the Chariot, please. Where did I get these before I... Oh my goodness. Okay, I didn't realize the deck was upside down. So we have, this card has been a recurring theme in your readings lately. We have Venus in Scorpio, and we have Moon in Taurus, clarifying the World and the Chariot. So right away, what Spirit is doing here, instead of clarifying, we're being shown the opposite. Okay, so these 2 cards, I believe, is where Spirit is seeing you, and they are to be. Notice how we have 2 minor arcana here and 2 major arcana here. Here is sort of the opposite of this energy, and I'm going to explain to you why. So first of all, as I pointed out, the World card is a card of all fixed signs. Aquarius is represented by the man up here, air. The fire, the Leo, the lion is down there. There's Taurus. And believe it or not, that is supposed to be Scorpio. Now, so generally, this card, notice as well that it is the last card of the major arcana. Now, there are 22 major arcana cards, so you may be wondering, well, why isn't this 22? Because you guys will not be numbered, because the Fool is 0. So the numbering really begins with the second card. This is the last card in the major arcana. It has to do with the eternal circle of life. You know, people often interpret it on a mundane level as a major ending and a new beginning. Well, is it ever? You can see these ribbons are in the shape of figure 8s. The wands are much like the tips of the wands. The top and the bottom of the wands are the same. Meaning it's like the wand of the magician. And that wand manifests things from the unmanifest into the world, into the manifest. Now, why does she have 2 wands? Because this card, it can represent a beginning or an ending. The lamnescape here, or the eternity sign, is the eternal flow. When a soul, what happens when we die, we don't really die. Our soul who we truly are the essence of us, literally goes into another realm with this wand. What happens? So the world is like the jump to the Fool. As you can see, death is really a new beginning. It goes back up to the Fool. Now, there's something very major about this. I mean, that is a card of eternal life. I'm getting something pretty major here. You know, I feel like mentioning Judgment Day or something, but anyway, we'll see if that comes up. So now, with the Chariot, the deeper meaning of the Chariot, I mean, often when we're looking at how people are feeling and things like that, the Chariot is an overpowering card. It's a very powerful card. It's on a Sephira or point number 7 on the Tree of Life, which is Netza, the will, the power to overcome. You know, when you, it's like, you know, a woman who is only 105 pounds and she wants to save her baby. So, you know, if the baby has been snatched up by an alligator, she'll do the impossible and pry open the jaws of the alligator because she wants to save her child. Things that are, you know, technically, scientifically impossible can actually happen when somebody summons up this will to succeed. In this card, there is a river behind the Chariot. This person has crossed the abyss. In other words, it's the same kind of thing. There are towers. Where is the tower back there? Anyway, so there is an idea also here of something coming into physical manifestation, because of course behind the river, behind the abyss is, you know, is creation, is Keter, is these aren't really buildings, that's the kingdom, you know, of heaven. This person has crossed the abyss and come into physical manifestation. That's why they say it's winning on physical planes. It is the will to overcome. It's a successful journey. It is also a victory. I'm getting this, you know, so this, if you actually look at what's going on here in what's on his chest, right below his chest plate, are symbols that are supposed to represent the 12, tribes, the 12 families, the Jewish, the whole source of the Jewish population, the families of. Actually, I'm just going to give you a quote for that card in this context. So about 1,000 years BCE. So in other words, 1,000 years before Jesus of Nazareth was born. Now we could be somewhere around the 850 BCE here as well. But Israel was divided up into the property into 12 sections. And you've heard of Jacob, who is well known in the Old Testament. He actually had 12 sons from 4 different women. But those 12 sons, it is believed generally that land was allotted to them. And that is, there actually is historical, some people can trace their genealogy back to, each one of these tribes. So there is historical support for this. But so that these, I think there are, there's 4 rows and 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. I'm not sure if they have I can't see how many columns there, but anyway, these little squares that were supposed to represent a portion of the land in Israel. Now, the stars on the canopy there, there's another reference to this tarot card, and it is that it is said that the Knights Templar, which is a bit forward in history, they were very interested in astrology and faith and spirit and mystical, all things mystical, and they were very guided by the stars, and they would paint stars on their on the ceilings of wherever they were sleeping. It was exactly like this. The walls would be navy blue, and they would paint stars on the tops of their rooms. Now, by the way, one of the 12 sections of land here was Joseph's land, Joseph being one of the sons of Jacob. You remember the story about the coat of many colors, and Joseph, who had prophetic dreams and could predict the future. Joseph was picked on by his brothers, but Jacob loved Joseph, I believe, very much, and he made that coat, the coat for Joseph. Now, what I'm getting the feeling, I know this is very dramatic what I'm about to say, but there is an idea here of someone who is going to have eternal life, someone who has ascended, someone who is going to ascend. And no matter what position this person has in their life, no matter maybe if they're not in a position of power at all right now, but they will be victorious here. There is the will to overcome here. There is somebody is being very victorious, and this could be a trip crossing the abyss from one realm to another. The opposite of this energy here. Something just flicked there. What's under here? Look at this. The devil's under there. 2 of Pentacles and the devil. Yeah. And these are important cards, and it goes right along with what I think this is about. There are some people who believe, and I don't mean to create drama here or to get anyone worried. If you're listening to this reading, or if you're still listening right now, this is actually good news for you. There are some people who believe that we are on the verge of something very major, and it has to do with evil in this world, with materialism and all the things that can go wrong. I was listening to Elon Musk the other day, and he is predicting that AI is going to turn on itself. I really agree with him. He was talking about how, he wants to use his money for good, and not evil things. I think he's very aligned. Anyway, sorry if you don't like Elon. I just heard those things, and I do like the way he handles himself in interviews when he's being attacked. But what some of these scholars believe is that we are close to getting to a point where there will be some people, I guess you could call them the chosen ones, or the 144,000 individuals who will be strong enough in their faith. You don't have to see God as it's not like a human being. It's faith in faith in the divine, faith in the other realm that we cannot see, faith in miracles, faith in the unseen, knowing that there is a loving, very intelligent matrix that you can tap into, a lack of fear, lack of being attached to material things, knowing that a victory within, doing the impossible, just like the lady who pried open the jaws of the alligator to save her child. There are scholars that believe that what will happen is that the church and the political realm, the leaders of the world, are going to be they're going to extinguish themselves. And the people that will not be affected, and the people who actually will in some weird way be in a position of power, but it's not the way that they handle power. It's being in a position of being 100% protected, and very aligned and absolutely immortal, literally, are these people who have faith, who literally realize that death it's just a physical thing. It's like it's in autumn. It's like a leaf, falling from a tree. Everything regenerates at some point. What happens when you die? Nothing happens when you die, because you don't die. The real you doesn't die. What you think you are is this body, because we're in this 3D world to learn a lot of things. So we are at sort of picking a reference point, because in this 3D world, energy needs space. So we need a reference point. We need a body in order to operate and experience the material world. Okay, now down here are what people would call the self-righteous, people who deny God. And what's happening here is there is somebody in this Seven of Cups who is confused, shocked, frightened, scared, absolutely in a total, utter panic. And who are these people? These Six of Pentacles people, these disingenuous people who don't know what unconditional giving is. They don't know how to give, because every time they think they're giving or donating, they're doing it to either get recognition or have their name put on a donor list or have somebody love them and worship them for the rest of their lives. These are low vibrational people. I'm just going to show you the cards in the regular deck, what these represent. Those who are attracted to glitter, distracted by glitter, by looks, there's wealth here, and there's also somebody, judging a book by its cover, by looks. If somebody is wanting, they've got all these options here, and they want to know, because they don't have faith, they want to know what's behind, what's really in the cup before they choose. And these people are in a panic here. People who there's something very unbalanced here. People who are giving so that they can get something back. And so something is very unfair, and they don't care. Something is very unbalanced here. So on the outside, it may look like this person is being generous, but that's really what's going on. It's very unbalanced. They're invested in getting something back here. Do you know, we are actually looking at around 800 BCE, because the chariot card, this actual symbol, this chariot, the rider in the chariot, there is a picture in a very, very ancient Hebrew text, the Bhagavad Gita, or some Jews just call it the Gita. That is where the picture of the chariot first appeared. There's actual images in that religious text. And the message about this, what the scriptures say, this ancient Hebrew, or you could call it a Jewish scripture, this ancient scripture says the self, the higher self, is the rider in the chariot of the body. The higher self is the rider in the chariot of the body. So it's, your true self is not the body. Your self is your higher self, the rider in the chariot of the body. And the horses are the feelings, and the senses, and the reins are the mind. So in other words, you are not your body, you are not your feelings or your senses, you are not your mind, you are your higher self. Try explaining that to these people down here. They would not understand this. And there is power. When you connect with your higher self, you receive the power of the Holy Spirit. We all know that quote from Romans, may the God of hope fill you with all the joy and peace in believing, so that you may abound in hope by the power of the Holy Spirit. It's interesting because the World card, if you compare it with the Wheel of Fortune, which is sort of in the middle of the major arcana, there's the end of the major arcana. In the Wheel of Fortune, it's unstable because it turns, and this card is completely stable. Why? Because God is the still point at the center. So I believe that what you're seeing here, the message is that through your faith in God, you have literally gone through the entire major arcana. You have ascended in a very, very advanced way. You've crossed the abyss here. You are able to rein in your emotions as well. You're able to keep your chariot steady. And you certainly look very confident, and you know what's what. You're also, this person is extremely peaceful, and, it looks like they're floating. This person is confident and knows what they're doing. They know the truth. They know that they have the will to overcome. Look at how confused and panicked this person looks. They've probably been casting spells or something, And look at how there's suffering down here, and there's a lack of giving here. So, and I think that what Spirit wants you to know here is that if you're wondering, if you're confused about why things have been so unbalanced and so unfair, if this is you, if you're confused, about why are things so desperately unfair? Well, because we are in this 3D world where there is a lot of dark energy. Just look at the greed up here. And you're on top of this, so you're not letting this impact you. Materialism, dark energy, people who have faith in man, in the world of man, in man-made law, these people don't understand why we are here. They don't know how to live properly. This person, obviously is not feeling very peaceful. They could be confused. Up here, we have somebody who knows that peace does not mean to be somewhere where there isn't any noise or chaos or trouble. It means to be in the midst of all this dark energy and still find calm in your heart. So you've got what it takes here. Now let's just keep going. All right, show us more, please. Oops. Oh, I know what I just did. Hang on. Sorry, guys. All right. Show us more, please, Spirit. Show us more. You could be completing a journey. Wow. 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 So, just put very simply, if you are worried about becoming single or leaving a marriage or something, don't worry. You've got everything that it takes. You can stand on your own. You know, where you are, home is. Do you see that snail there? Wherever that snail, the snail carries its home on its back. And where you are, that wherever you are, no matter where you live, that's home. And because you are aligned. This woman in the Nine of Pentacles, she has everything that she needs to live without ever leaving. She has the grapes, you know, where she can receive fruit and wine. That falcon, that is, and notice the falcons are female. The falcon is sitting on her hand, and it's not flying away. It is dedicated to her. It hunts for her. That this woman is dedicated and she perseveres. She is stable, consistent, and she is very connected to everything. Sustains her there. She doesn't need anything. She's very, very in tune with nature, you know, and she's very fruitful, abundant. And because she's living that way, no one can take that from her. So she knows how to live. A lot of people look at this card and they think that it's somebody who is into money, but the pentacles are supposed to represent the abundance that comes from the fruits in her garden and her stability, her perseverance. She is very connected to the cycles of life. And there's a wild bird there hunting for her, you know. That's sort of like a beast that she has tamed. So Spirit could be telling you here, you do not need to be afraid. You will be sustained by Spirit. I will sustain you. Let's just get a little clarification here. See if we get opposite energies again. So, you know, and with the world there, it could be that if there is some kind of judgment day coming, you're going to be sustained. There's an idea of immortality there and something that cannot be taken. Wow. Whoa, look at the powerful cards there. The Lovers and the Ace of Swords. Wow. Do you know what, Aquarius? This could be a love reading as well. And I'll tell you why. So in this card, the Lovers in the Tarot de Marseille, there is a very clear message. Believe it or not, there is a man in the middle and there are two women here. We call this the high hat woman. And this woman over here, I believe, is you. Okay? Notice how the angel's arrow is pointing towards you, okay? And, you know, the man may be making a choice between two people, but let me tell you the difference between you and this person here. So according to the authorities on the Tarot de Marseille Lovers card, do you see how the only white that appears on any of these people, it's on your sleeves? And do you see the white arrow that's pointing down toward you? The white in this card is supposed to represent the fact that there's an intellectual focus here on love, the true ability to sacrifice oneself. Okay? Over here, we have the power of a victor or a high hat woman. Now remember that we had the chariot card, which represents victory. So clearly the choice, the proper choice here, the angel is desperately pointing at you. And there is a correct choice here there and a victory. No matter who that person chooses, there is a very clear emphasis on the angels are certainly choosing you. Now, look here. This could be a message about eternal life, immortality here. But I also believe it has to do with the fact that we've got, somebody understanding the true meaning of love and being aligned here with truth, and remember that's coming from God, somebody who is certain of a truth. There are a number of things that I think we should be noticing about this combination. When you make choices, true loving choices that are aligned, you are choosing to act in a godly way. Your mind is aligned with God, your words, your actions. And this person is sacrificing. This person knows why they're here. They know the truth. They know what love is. There's the truth about love. Love is patient. Love is kind and envies no one. Love is not boastful, never conceited, never rude or selfish. Love is not quick to take offense. Love keeps no score of wrongs. Love delights in the truth. There is no limit to its faith, its hope, and its endurance. Love never gives up. Love never comes to an end. There are 3 things that last forever: faith, hope, and love. But the greatest of them is love. And all of these things, really, the Ace of Swords, I always think of the Ace of Swords as God. What is God? Love. What is love? It's just what we just spoke about. And it's also truth. It's operating from your heart. So I feel like no matter what happens here, you may end up being single and living on your own. But my goodness, you are living. You are living correctly. You are making the correct choices. You are not being, and there is some kind of a there's good news coming in here. There's a change coming in. You can do this. If you think that you can't make it on your own, yes, you can. And part of the way that you're doing it, do you see this feather there? That feather represents the fact that this young page here, and you don't have to be young, but this person who is facing this challenge, she's smiling. She knows that, it's quite a challenge, but she can communicate with God. That's what that feather there means. This could be the end of the reading. Wow. And here we go with the, constant struggle, the wheel. Well, that's why we're here. This is the 3D. This could be actually, the Wheel of Fortune could be what you're working on here in this lifetime. By the way, notice how we now have the New Testament with the Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John here. We also have your symbol there of Aquarius. We have the word tarot, rota, and we also have something else. We have the word of God with 4 Hebrew letters there. And the Wheel of Fortune, it's said that, what we're looking at, these 3 creatures here, these are the 3 fates. One thing that you can do is you can live, like the devil does, to have faith in material things and, literally, when you live in the 3D and you have no connection to spirit, there is no way that you could avoid suffering, because it's impossible to avoid suffering. Now, the other thing you can do is if you happen to suffer, you can find a way to get comfortable with it. Now, once you've noticed that you can do that, from now on, you could do the third thing, which is to transcend and avoid any future suffering. Let's see what else Spirit has to say. So this could be a very high level of ascension here that you're reaching. Yeah, look at the end of, ditch the wheel. The end of suffering, the end of illusions. How do you do this? You have to end the illusion. You may have had to go through a very painful ending here. Okay, there's 3 coming up here. Wow. Do you notice what's happening here? We have the 9. It's going to the 10. There is a word here that's being spoken. So this is Mars in Gemini. It's an extreme amount of mental suffering. There's a message, and there's the end of suffering. Let's keep going. It's with a word. There is some kind of word here. It's some kind of, could be from Archangel Michael. Just a moment. Wow. It is indeed a message from Archangel Michael. What's really compelling about this is the 3 of Swords. I believe that Archangel Michael has watched you going through some kind of heartbreak. And there's a shedding of tears here. There's true sorrow. Now, you know what that means? What it meant to Archangel Michael to watch you shedding tears? What does it mean to mourn? I asked the multitude, and an old man stepped forward. To mourn, he said, is to be given a second heart. It is to care so deeply that you show your ache in person. To mourn is to be unashamed of tears. It is to be healed and broken and built up, all in the same moment. Blessed are you if you care for others with a heart that feels, with a heart that hurts, with a heart that loves. And blessed are you if you can care for others with a heart that serves and a heart that sees the need before it's spoken. To mourn is to be an expert in the miracle of caring with another's pain. It is to be full of the willingness of forever reaching out to and picking up and holding carefully those who hurt. To mourn is to sing with the dying and to be healed by the song and the death. If you have the ability to be able to shed tears and to feel heartbreak, it means you have a heart. You have empathy. It means you have the ability to be empathetic and loving toward others as well. It means you feel and you're unashamed of tears. And in crying, you are healing yourself. Did anyone see the absolutely heartbreaking recent interview of Justin Bieber, who was literally sobbing throughout most of the interview? And what he was talking about while he was sobbing, he wasn't talking about his own pain. He was crying because he was talking about someone that he cared about and wanted to protect her and didn't want her to go through what he had gone through. He was unashamed of his tears. And you know what? I was so totally impressed by him. I thought to myself, that is a good person. If I needed someone to, dog sit or cat sit, I would trust that person because they have a heart and they feel genuinely for others. So I feel like there is another message here, and that is that Archangel Michael will heal your heart every time it breaks. But it's an incredibly huge compliment here. By the way, Archangel Michael is also the angel who weighs up the souls and keeps the record of the 144,000. He is the one who chooses the chosen ones on Judgment Day. I feel like this is one heck of a strong message for you. There is also an idea here of you having remained very balanced. Literally half spirit, 50% of you is not of this earth, it's spiritual. Archangel Michael is also he's considered to be the messenger of God. He is the closest to God. So you can communicate with spirit, or that, intricate, intelligent, loving realm with this archangel. I'm just thinking of it. There's an old English prayer that says, God be in my head and my understanding. God be in mine eyes and in my looking. God be in my mouth and in my speaking. God be in my heart and in my thinking. Yeah. So, you may have been through, you've actually completely healed here and succeeded, because this woman is very comfortable, warm. She feels good. You literally may have reached this point by, through surviving some kind of heartbreak. You may have been done wrong here. There could be an element of betrayal, but remember, you've been very strong. You've been very, very strong. Look at the infinity sign there. Wow. And remember how I was talking about taming the beast? I feel like animals trust you. The reason why that lion is not devouring her is because she is communicating telepathically with that animal, and she's unconditionally loving. The animal immediately picks up this loving energy from her. You may actually be able to calm down a pit bull, or you may find that when you're around animals, they may roll over on their backs. That is a huge spiritual compliment. Really watch and observe how animals behave around people, because it's very telling. The animals are slightly telepathic here. Show me a little bit more. Sorry, I think we're at the end. Yeah, so this could be you. There may be fear. You could be fearing something. You may be wary. You've been through a lot. But you've maintained your strength here. And you may be wondering, actually, other people may be intimidated by you because of your ascension here. I also think that there's a message here that this rough road that you've been through, you've handled it very well. You may be worried, are things ever going to change? Somebody may actually be seeing a glow around your head, by the way. There's a message here. There's some kind of a message here coming in. Yeah, okay. It could be about how this could be a message. You know what the Wheel of Fortune is at times? It's the record. When you pass, it's the record of what you've done. So you may be, if you're worrying at all about anything that you've done in the past, your record is very good. You've completed the mission here, and you've done very well. Yeah, you've completed a mission here. Look, this could easily be referring to Judgment Day. It looks like there is a very painful ending coming here, and it's I don't see you in that card. These can be other people, people who were not aligning themselves with spirit here. It sure is. It sure is. It sure is. And remember how I said the jump from the world to the fool? What you need to know is that you have done well. You're going to make it into a very high level of heaven here. And whatever the next lifetime is for you, it's going to be this could be another realm. I actually see this 10 of Cups lately. I've been seeing it as another planet, literally. This could be heaven because there are no wands, swords, or pentacles here. It's all cups, and they're above. And we've got Kundalini energy here. It's total fulfillment. I really feel that this could be a level of heaven. And it also could be, if there is some kind of Son of Man event coming up, how do we know that, what this could be, honestly, is a transiting to a different realm. It could be going into another lifetime, but your soul is exactly the same here. Notice how this person is about to walk right off a cliff, but they're not going to die. The Fool is well aware that cliff is there. The Fool has no fear. The Fool runs that pathway 0, pathway 22, from the unmanifest to the manifest, and from the manifest to the unmanifest. And so I actually think you could actually be switching realms or timelines here. This could be time travel, literally, or it could be whatever is happening to those 144,000 faithful servants of God. I'm really picking up that it may be the beam me up Scotty type of thing. Anyway, let's just get one final. Let's get a chakra card and a message from Spirit, okay? Can we have a hint about what this... Whoa. Creation, the flames of destruction will ignite a rebirth. Let your life burst forth from the seeds of creation. Strength. Strength comes from your connection to the root of your being, your soul. It's nothing physical. Wow. Incredible. Anyway, let me know what you think, guys. This is incredible, incredible. All right, thanks for watching.